Hello everyone, welcome in. I'm Taffany and this is Tika's Gardens, and today I've got a little maintenance work to do out here. I'm going to be pruning back some roses. I'm going to trim down my hibiscus bushes, and I'm going to kind of take a few little clamps and ties for some of the columnar ligustrums that are kind of starting to flop outward. So let me kind of show you what I need to do, and then I'm gonna grab my tools and get started. So let's head back to the bedroom garden because that's where the bulk of the work is going to be today. So Tika has been making good use of all of these tennis balls that appeared in our yard after New Year's. But anyway, so let me just show you some things here. As we are heading to the bedroom garden, here at the entrance, you see some of these branches that are kind of leaning off of the stake on these ligustrums. Okay, well, we just broke that one, but I want to I'm gonna have to get another stake from the garage, but I want to clamp those onto the stakes so that they can kind of grow, you know, more linear and not start to lean outward. And then as we come into the bedroom garden, we've got these knockout roses over here that needs to be pruned down. And here's one of the hibiscus I'm going to go ahead and cut. Here's the second. And then here are two more knockout roses. This one here and that one there. And then you can kind of see this shrub here needs to be clamped onto the stake so it can grow upward. And this one's leaning a little bit, so we're going to straighten it and clamp it where needed as well. And then as we come out of the bedroom garden, we've got two more hibiscus. This one here, which we'll prune back, and the little dwarf hibiscus right here that we will prune back. And then we have, let me see if I can get back a little bit. We have these two roses right here. They are pink knockout roses that need to be pruned. So that is the plan for today. So I am going to head over to the garage so I can grab my pruners and things, and then we'll get started. So guys, I'm going to prune off as much as I can from these shrubs. I am going to leave it at about, 12 inches tall, get all of the small, weak branches and stuff off. So that's the plan. And the hope is that we will have a nice, big, bushy shrub this season and not so leggy. For some reason, I can't find my really good shears, so I'm using these. And these things are pretty tough, so you can pretty much cut these back really hard. And I'm cutting them back also to where I see a little bud where new growth will be coming from. So that's the first one. And I know that looks drastic, but it should come back really good. So that's the plan. So let's do the next one over here. So again, we're doing the same thing, just getting rid of all the small weak branches and also cutting back to where we see possible bud growth. Oops, we're losing our hat. All right, guys, so we've got them both cut down over here. Let me get these little bitty parts off there. There we go. So that is everything for that one. Let's head over here to the well, I guess we'll work our way around. So let's head over to the hibiscus. So I'm gonna see how well this will cut, or if I need to get my big ones. And you don't necessarily have to do this at this time of year. But I am going ahead and doing it anyway. I'm having some hat difficulties today. All right, so that's that one. Let's head to the next one. All right, guys, so I've got these knockout roses over here pruned. I've got the hibiscus cut back, and I even pruned the little bitty dwarf roses as well, the two that are remaining. So now we're going to head over to that side, and we're going to do the hibiscus over there, two of them, and we're going to do the two pink knockout roses. So hopefully we will have some nice thick beautiful roses, and not the leggy ones like what we had this season, but they were new this season as well. So, well, last season, spring and summer. So that's the plan, is to thicken them up and make them lush and beautiful. So let's head over to the other side now, but I think everything looks good. I'll come back and clean up later. Hibiscus aren't as hard to cut back because, you know, they grow pretty much from the root, and unless you get a really, really thick branch, they're pretty much dead on the inside, so they cut through pretty easy, as I struggle with that one. All right. Let's get this other hibiscus and then the roses. Hi, Tika. Hey, girl. Hi. Hi there. Yeah. Yeah. I know. What you doing over there? You trying to get a squirrel? Yeah, those squirrels messing with you. All right. We're making progress. Oh, well. Well, that one's so brittle, it just broke off. Let's hope that it's not dead. this one doesn't have very many branches, and neither does that one. So we're gonna see how they do. Tico, come here. Come here. Alright, so I have everything over here pruned down as well now, so let me give you a close-up look. And we really have a number going on with this hat here. Alright, so I'm going to step back and give you a look. I haven't cleaned up anything yet, so you'll see my piles around. I'll get to that in a minute, but let's just take a look at all of the pruning. Alright guys, let's just take a close look at everything. As you can see, they are cut back really good. Let's get close here. So you can see, and I will come back and clean up my mess here. But I've got the hibiscus cut back. You can see back there and back there. I'm stepping through these roses. Hopefully the thorns won't get me. That little dwarf one is cut. That one is cut. There's another little dwarf right there. And then there's the other big one. Alright, so that is the hibiscus right there, cut down. As we come around the curve, that one back there, I'm curious to see if it's still alive. That one's cut back. And let me kind of step through my pile here. And you can see there, those roses are cut back. So, all of that is done now. Let me get some clamps so I can address these branches that are hanging off and see if I can find another stake for this one that is broken. So yeah, let's take a look in the garage. All right, guys, I found this stake in the garage. So let's get some of these smaller. Airplane. That was pretty loud, but I'm using some smaller clips to connect this. All right, that's good enough. Everything doesn't need to be tied up, just enough to keep it straight up. All right, so we've got the pruning done. We've got the columnar ligustrums upright. So the next thing I want to do is remove these 3 here, and I am going to replace them with 3 of these winter gem boxwoods right here. We have a plan for something over here, some things going on over here in this spot. So I'm going to slowly move things out of here, just starting with these for right now. Now the winter gems get 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, so I'll put 3 of them right there in place of those gardenias. And that's going to be it for today. That will make my evergreen wall for me. So let me grab my shovel, which is right over here, and get my gloves, and we'll get things done. And that's going to be the last thing I'm going to do for today. Those 2 are easy to do. I got to get the shovel for the middle one. So guys, the holes are already here, so we don't have to do anything. So hopefully the root systems for these boxwoods will be just right for the holes. Got a lot of weeds attached to the bottom here, so let's get these off. Don't want to carry them over here. The depth is good, but the width is just a little too small. It's a pretty good size root system there. One more. All right, well guys, that looks really good. Let me give you a close-up of it. I really like it, but before I do that, let me straighten this one up a little bit. Now let's get a look. Yeah, that's better. Just making sure that they're even, using my non-scientific way by using my feet to measure. But yeah, it looks good. So let me clean up some of my mess and then I'll show you the final product. All right, guys, I've got everything cleaned up. I watered my sun patience while I was at it, and I also went ahead and transplanted that gardenia that I dug up from the entry part of the back courtyard garden. So let's head out this way and let me show you where I planted it. So let me turn the camera around and give you a good look. All right. I planted it right here. I did add some fertilizer, which I would normally not do, but like I did with the gardenia radicans the other day, I kind of wanted to give it a good head start. And the not the gardenia radicans, the camellia, sorry, I wanted to give it a good start. So I did put a little fertilizer in the hole and watered it in really good. So I've got that there along the side of the house here, along the driveway. And mentioning gardenia radicans, yesterday or the day before, can't remember which one, but I was out in the garden here, and if you remember, there are two gardenia radicans back here, one there and one that was right there. That one is dead, but this one is still alive, and my guess is because it's close to the sprinkler head. It seems like all of the gardenias that are close to sprinkler heads are doing great. So I've moved it up a little bit so it is literally right in front of the sprinkler. And so this Indian hawthorn is now flanked by two gardenia radicans. This one's been here for a little while. And so this one I moved up. Here you can see I moved 3 of the winter gem boxwoods. And as I said, there's a plan for over here. So, which I'm not going to talk about now, for this whole part here. When I say over here, I mean this whole part. So some things will get moved out slowly, but I moved them over here. So as you can see, they will fill in there and make a boxwood hedge in between the columnar ligustrums. I tried my best to make those gardenias there for the scent, but alas, it didn't work. And let's come inside and take a look at it from the inside. And there you go. So that's that. And you have already seen where we cut down all of the, well, not cut down, but pruned all of the roses. So I can't, oh, look at that. That is how garden tools get lost and ruined. We left this out here. Let's get our pruners. All right. So anyway, I was just trying to give you a shot of it from the outside. I know you can still see my gardenias right here that I pulled up. I have to move those out. But that's it, everybody. And it looks so good. All right, guys, we are done for today. I want to thank you for joining me in the garden, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.